Okay, what's up guys? So I went and bought a Ethernet cable, which I did that before. I ended up moving. I went through this process before and I now moved. So I went back to Wi-Fi and then everything was good, and then I started having issues and went full circle again. So now I'm back using Ethernet. So it's just a hard connection. So like I have DCs now, and then that means it's gotta be the internet provider. Like, since I had these issues on two different locations, I don't know. Anyway, so like we'll see if it works. It's really like lame, uh, it just kind of kills my vibe when get going and then it like stops. You know, putting a stick in my spoke, So let's see if it's working. It's loading up. Looks like it's working. It's really like lame. Okay, yeah, so I can hear the everything's working. Get this out of here, and let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so I'm going through for loops. I went back to recording. I was just recording instead of streaming. That it's still good. Like recording is good too. It's either or, honestly. So I made an upload. I haven't uploaded a recording in a while, but I did. So let's see. I took my break at my break, like call it a break, whatever you want to call it. I quit, went to the gym and ran some errands, took a shower and all that, ate dinner and everything from 11:38, and we'll just put the time now to what'd you say, 2:55. Keep track of the time. Go over to devlog, and then this is where I put my breaks and stuff on the side, so I can factor all that in at the end of the day to see how much time I actually spent. So from 10:35 to 11:38, I continued working, continued going through current issues and things to do, text, and that more specifically, I worked on fixing instances wherein let's shorten up the extra language here. Fixing instances of for loops used lists, tuples instead of the unpacking mechanism. Yeah. Alright, so go back over here where we left off. Okay, right here. So we were going through this function actually, which is round score, and I thought I could change this, but I can't. It's actually a tuple, so like it has to be a tuple. Going through to make sure this is if length of meld is greater than or equal to 7, okay, then wildcard canasta check count is equal to 7, which means we have a wildcard canasta. Yeah, because this is for each meld, okay, right? Round score is supposed to equal 1000. Either wild card canasta check count is equal to 0. Round score is supposed to equal to 500. That means it's a natural canasta. And then wild card canasta check count is greater than 0, which means it's not 7, but it's at least 1. That's a mixed meld, which is 300 points. We have if self.goingout is equal to true. round score plus equals 100. Going out, so you get bonus points for that. If self dot went out concealed is equal to true, another bonus 100 points for that. Round score plus equals 100. And round score plus equals the length of the self dot red 3 meld times 100. So let's say it's 3, that would be 3 times 100, 300 plus equals, yeah, so that's correct. And do we need this? Can't we just, well, right? If we put something in what is this called? Parentheses? Yeah. If we put these, like, doesn't make it calculate separately, because it still would get calculated first, right? Because of PEMDAS. Even if there was parentheses, it would still be the multiplication first. So it would do times 100 plus equal. Isn't that right? Let's test that real quick. I'm pretty sure on that, but I just want to test it. So I'll just copy this line, and we're just gonna straight up mimic this. So we're gonna paste that line in. We're gonna say round score equals. We'll just put 100. Actually, I'll just use 0 actually, and then 3 meld equals 3, so length of 3, and then yeah, that's all we need. And then we can print round score. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the parentheses. Self is not defined. Okay, yeah, duh. Okay. And so yeah, it's 300. So it's, yeah, that's correct. And then if we add the parentheses back, the answer should be the same. Okay, yeah. So it doesn't make a difference either way. So it looks like it does use PEMDAS, like, and let's just ask ChatGPT real quick. Python math operations use. ChatGPT so smart, dude. Watch this. Yes, Python follows the standard mathematical order of operations, which is often remembered using the acronym PEMDAS. This acronym stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Cool. Alright, that's all I needed. Okay, so going back over here, we have this round score. We can remove these parentheses, because, like, I'm getting rid of all dead code. I'm getting rid of so much dead code, bro. I just don't want it. I don't want to see it. I want it gone. I want it out of here. I don't ever want to see it again. I don't want any extra fucking commas, quotations, dots, lines, anything. So if the length of the self.red 3 meld is equal to 4, that means we had all 4 red 3s like a boss, because our luck is not like mine. And then we got a round score of plus equals 400, because you already know that you get 100 points per. And then you get another bonus 400 points for that. And then we put else, which means elif. Nice there. Elif self going out is not equal to true. We're not going out. If self.hasCanasta is equal to true, and you're not going to lose that many points, round score plus equals the length of the red 3 meld. So yeah, as long as you had a canasta, your red 3 your red 3s count positively, but if they count negatively, right? At least that's how we used to play it. If length of red is equal to 4, then you still get a bonus 400 points because you're in a then else, which means if self.hasCanasta is equal to false. Now I like to do this. I know it's kind of cheesy, but I think it helps me. So either if self.hasCanasta is equal to false. Yeah, that's correct. round score minus equals length of the stuff red 3 mil time 100. So however many red 3s you had in your red 3 mil, those are going to count against you. Length of red 3 mil is equal to 4, then you get a fucking negative 400 points. I don't know if that's actually a rule. I added in, like, it's actually a rule, but I added that in. Because I'm not worried about the rules. This is really to like create an actual game that people are really gonna like competitively play and shit. Goal. If length of self hand is greater than 0, and this for either out is not equal to true. So if you're not out, yeah, that means you have cards in your hand. So then we iterate through each card in the self.hand. The round score minus equals masterdeck.ranks.get. The card, the ranks is, yeah, that was what we wanted to change. Ranks is actually a dictionary. So for card self.hand, it's where minus equal masterdeck.ranks.get card.rank. Yeah, that's actually correct. So we're okay, and then after all that, and this is on the correct indentation, it returns the round score after doing all those calculations, and it's your round score. So that's got the double stamp of approval. Now we're going to, and the 2 asterisks means we went over it like twice. That means we looked over it once and then we read it again. The 4, I probably did go over it 4 times before, but so much that honestly, if I come across a section of code and like I change it, it's wise for me to just go ahead and review that section, even if it's just a minor change. So we're done with that. Let's go to the next, which is going to be Control-Shift-F to search for in the entire project. We were about halfway through, so we're just gonna start at the beginning. And what we're looking for is build group and self. Yeah, this one's fixed. And this is only gonna make a minor difference in performance, like a performance to be on fleek, because you know Python is very slow compared to other languages. Want to make sure as fast as it can be, and I should have case, because that will rule out. Why did it? Okay. Let's go through this again. Everything looks good there. Now we're in progression. For meld in objects. Yep. It's fine. It's fine. Well, we actually have to be careful. Like, if we're not trying to access it if it is a list or a tuple. That's the goal here. If we're accessing it as if it's a list or a tuple, then it needs to be a list or a tuple. But so here's another location. We have notice I'm using lists instead of tuple. Can I use tuples? Yep. Okay, so for current game and P1 game, P2 game, and we're not accessing anything via tuple, so or via index rather, so we can get rid of that, and that will quicken up the performance. We don't have to worry about it. That's one thing I don't like is where did it go? Okay, anyway, so deck. Let's keep it rolling through, and we're down to like the easy stuff. These are simple tasks. Okay, notice I'm using list there tuple. Can I use tuple? Since they're faster, be careful. Review before changing. Player in. It's real easy because we're not thing with it. Okay. and it's 0. It's not -1. 0 is the first card, but the draw card, when we draw the card, that's appended to the end, so that's -1, right? Okay, let's read this. Start from the top. Called by the draw 3 function, changes all the cards in the master deck to be located at the locate.deck. It's the player.draw card and back into master deck.deck. Draw card. So take any parameters. Card moves each card from the deck, but visually in the draw animation staggered locations into the proper deck location. Moves each card from the deck visually. Declaration. Okay, moves each card from in the deck. Each card in the deck. And I'll just put in located at currently located at the draw animation staggered location. Position into the proper deck location, and that's a little bit confusing, and we're just going to put from the draw animation staggered positions. There we go, that's better. So for current card in master deck.deck, current card X, current card Y equals locate.deckload. And this we can do. We can't do it in an if loop. In an if condition rather. Sorry, not a loop, it's not a loop. It's an if condition. For if conditions you can't say like if current card X, current card Y is equal to a tuple. You can't do that, but you can say current card X, current card Y equals locate deckload, which is a tuple. It will assign the first element index 0 and then index 1, so that does work. So that's valid code right there. And then card data transfer equals false. This is required here because the cards were moved to the draw animation lokes via direct XY alteration, meaning they also have to be replaced back to the proper deck locations via this above few lines, via the above few lines, or just the above lines final direct XY alteration. This is required here because cards are moved to the draw animation looks via direct XY alteration, meaning they also have to be replaced back to the proper deck location via the above lines final direct XY alteration. Okay. For current player in P1, P2, master deck.deck append current player and pop 0. Oh, so this is only used for the beginning, which is why we use so let's put a marker here. We're in prog and we're at line 199, so we'll hit enter. It's gonna throw an error, but now when I hit up, it's gonna bring that back so I can reference my little section I was at. So let's do Control Shift F for return draw card, and let's go ahead and see if we can. Yeah, so this is only called during the draw 3. It looks like, which the draw 3 is only the very beginning of the game. So that was returning your draw card. Okay, so I was thinking differently. I was thinking in terms of like when you drew a card from the hand for the rest of the game. So the name is a little bit misleading. It's no big deal. I'm not going to change it though. It's not that important. So let's go back to Prog 199. So let's do Control G. Where is it at? All I do is hit Control Z. Anyway, so this one's good. This is done. This function, we're gonna give it the double stamp of approval. Return draw card. Music application for the drawing stack positions. Current card in master deck dot deck. It's gonna change the current X, current Y equal to locate deck log, which is a tuple comment. This is required here because we're required to move to the draw animation logs via direct XY alteration. Meaning they also be replaced back to the proper position via the above lines. Final direct XY alteration. True. Okay. Now I understand that. Sometimes you read something and you just like don't, goes over your head completely. You're not paying attention. For current player in P1, P2, master deck append, current hand plan, current player hand pop 0. And let's give it the double stamp of approval. That looks good. And I'll just put a little note here, verified correct index, just in case I wonder. This is only for the draw 3. Called by the draw 3. Called only by the draw 3 function. Alright, moving on to the next one. So we're in progression. Alright. So let's keep it going here. Okay, here we go. This is the next one, I think. For current player in player 1, player 2. Okay. For card in range of 11. Current player hand append master deck pop 0. Alright. So this should be able to just exist as is without range of 11. Current player hand append master deck to deck pop 0. Current player and player 1, player 2, red 3 check. Okay. Same here. So this should be able to exist as is without having to be a tuple. Moving forward. Okay. Now this if right here, that has to be a tuple to be considered valid syntax. Okay, for red 3 and range of length of yeah, so all this is grayed out. What is this like this? What does it look like? this is eat it out. Did I do something like what? Yeah, this code is unreachable. It's unreachable. Live. Oh, because elif true. Oh, true, bro. That's actually correct, dude. Why is this? It's one of those big ugly functions. Review that. I don't want to review that one. That boy is ugh. So why would I put elif true here? If you do not mean the colors, player if forced. Is forced. This doesn't make sense to me, my friend. What is this supposed to be? What is this elif supposed to be? It's supposed to be something. It's not supposed to be elif true. So we have if current player hand 0 is equal to matching meld 0 rank. Player hand matching meld rank. Since you're only the same rank as your existing meld and your matching meld is 6 cards, and you can add it to the meld to create a required Canasta to go. Would you like to do this? Too much hand holding. That's player hand rank is in wild cards. Okay, so then if it's a wild card, melding current player melds if master deck face of card rank equal to 0 rank. Face of card, master deck card append. Stock speed is equal to true if length of master deck discard pile greater than 0. You successfully drew the discard from the discard pile as you had a matching meld. For the rules, you have a choice to either pick up the entire discard pile. Choice is equal to no. Current player hands equal to 1 current player. Okay, if the length, if you don't want to pick up the discard pile, then you check if the length of the current player's hand is equal to 1 and current player has Canasta is equal to false. In that case, the current player's hand is only equal to 1. The player has Canasta is equal to false. Current player hand 0 is equal to matching meld 0 rank. If the length of the matching meld is equal to 6, okay. Okay. Then elif current player hand is in wildcard suit. Okay, I understand now. And then this is elif. Elif what? Match and meld is equal to false. Current player matched in the meld list clear for melding current player meld if meld is not equal to matching meld. The length of meld is equal to 6 if meld 0 rank is equal to current player hand rank. Okay, so then this is checking is equal to the matching meld rank. If it's equal to the matching meld rank, and then elif it's a wild card, and then we're gonna look through the rest of the melds to see if there's the match in the meld. Meld is not equal to matching meld, in length of the meld is equal to 6, then if meld 0 rank is equal to current player hand 0 rank, and length is equal to 6. Meld 0 rank, current player hand rank, matching meld equals true, current player matching meld is append meld. Matching meld is equal to true. So this is kind of like recursive, I think. You have a card that can be added to one of your other melds to reach the required canasta to go out. Would you like to add it to the meld? So you have a card that can be added to one of your other melds to reach out. Okay, and then else. Unfortunately, you did not. Okay. So couldn't I just fix this by like okay, so for meld in current player match card list, if gameplay card is in meld, current player meld, it's just be added to the game. Okay. And then we have this else here, which would never be accessed currently because we have elif true. It's unfortunately you did not meet any of the requirements. So if we go through, okay, you will instead have to draw the rest of the discard pile, and then we return. We have a return here, we have a return here for this if. So let's just like go from the bottom up here and make sure we have returns for everything. So we don't want this section to just run every time. We want to make sure this only is gonna run if we like didn't, you know, because we can't really add a condition right here because there isn't really, the condition would be like this, and that's way more than one line, you know what I mean? That's like a whole, like a little function. I could like create a little function, but that's some ghetto shit. I'm not doing that. So we have elif true, matching meld, blah, 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 blah. So let's go from the bottom. So we have return for this if, okay, and then we have, I don't know, bro. I'm just like, this is really complicated actually. This might be something that needs to be more thoroughly reviewed. I don't. Okay. And then that's, no, I think this is safe as long as we have a return. So like if this was false though, if there was no match and meld, well then it would just it would come down here and it would go to this section, which would not be an else anymore. It would just be if you didn't enter into the section and then return to a new function. So up and look at this if. So this one is you want to add it to the melt, you can leave out the required canasta. So this is for the card, and you want to add the wild card that can be added to it if unless it's a maxed out meld. But what about if it's a maxed out meld? If it's a maxed out meld, then technically you wouldn't be able to do that, right? I'm pretty sure. If you already had what, three wild cards in it, is it 2 or 3? If you already had 3 in it, you'd be able to add another. That's just the rules of the game. Yeah, I think this needs to check for. Let's see. Nothing compared to other buildings. Okay, yes, right here. Let's see. Length of current player melting assist group. So right here, we're iterating through the melds. If the length of the meld is equal to 6, we would have to put and meld not in what is it called? Maxed out melds. Maxed out melds. Isn't that non-maxed out meld? Okay, so this is a property. Oh, so it's calculated. It's a calculated property. Not maxed out melds. For meld group, wildcard count. Or no, if it's in non-maxed out melds. Yeah. So I found another bug. I'm getting good at this, dude. So if the meld is in non-maxed out melds, and this is gonna be what? Player? Current player? It's a player attribute? I just looked it up and I have to do it again. So it's player. Yeah, it's a player attribute. So this is gonna be current player dot non-maxed out melds. If length of the meld is equal to 6 and meld in current player dot non-maxed out melds, and meld in 6 is equal to true. Yeah, that's easy. That was just a little fix, bro. Yeah. Okay. So that's fixed. Now we just have to go through and make sure we have the proper returns. So the elif true, stupid scroll fucking wheel is broken. This is me hitting the scroll wheel. Sometimes it works. I think it's completely broken now. It literally doesn't work anymore. we have the return for that elif. That one's safe, I think, at least. Mostly safe, which is not good enough. And then this elif, we have, let's scroll through this. Okay. Alright. What is this? If else you okay. And then else or if choices equal to yes. So we have return for this, return for that, return for this. Alright, yeah, so we're good on this section. And then this if right here, if current player hand 0 rank is equal to matching mode 0 rank. If the matching mode is equal to 6, add it to the mode, matching mode player. Yeah, so that one's safe as well. And now let's look at the, well, we don't have to look at all of them because we only have to go up to this indentation. Isn't that right? Just for derivatives and shit. We don't have to worry about that. So let's go up just to this indentation. So if that one's safe, that one's safe, and then this one's safe. So this one is gonna actually be else. And this is gonna search for a different L to match with, which I'm pretty sure is like a little bit recursive. I think that's what we entered to this function for in the first place, but it is what it is. And I gotta take a little more of my, just a tiny bit more of my cat. I don't drink coffee anymore. I quit drinking coffee. I started taking just a straight up caffeine pill. It's just like caffeine powder. It's white. It's just like white powder. It's actually got L-theanine in it too. It's L-theanine and caffeine. So it's much. Let's get rid of that. This is like the final time I can take, the latest I can take it without it keeping me up at night. I mean, if I took too much, obviously it would, but I don't really take a lot. And then I got this little mushroom stuff I take. It's like 10 different mushrooms. It's supposed to help with like focus and all that stuff. Not psychedelic, just like over the counter stuff. And then the third, the combo is this is like vitamins and it's like focus factor, so it's like triple, and that should do the trick. That should get me nice and cranked up for like another at least hour and a half, so I'm not like going brain dead, which I was starting to feel like was coming on to me. It tastes disgusting, and I'm out of water. Damn. It's gone. It's alright. Okay. So, where are we at on time here? 45 minutes. That's pretty good. I'll probably go, I'm gonna go at least an hour for sure, so at least another 15 more minutes. This part is making me sick. I don't want to mess with this anymore. This heavy logic stuff will make your brain melt. We figured out the if. We changed it to where this is now if true, it's an else. And shout out to VS Code for helping me catch that bug, because some dumb stuff. So now we're gonna change this else, and this is basically, it's just gonna stand alone like this. So if it doesn't enter into any of the if, elif, or else, it's gonna go here, because all the if, elif, else, they have returns, so they're not, by nature of going to those return, it's not gonna go there. And let's just say it started to go into one of the if, elif, else, but it never reached a return point, and matched in melds list. I want to make sure matched in melds list is cleared. Matching meld. Okay, so we don't actually have a matching meld list. Matching meld list is created here. Matching meld list. What? Is it not called matching meld list? Or is it matched meld? Matched? No. Am I tripping here, dude? Hand matching melds. Okay. Let's put our brain back in. Put my brain back in my head real quick, and where is it? Matched in meld list. Matched in meld list. Okay. Like, what is this? Matched in meld list? Okay, so it's literally only used here. That's fine. Let me just be safe. I'm trying to be, like, you have to be extra safe. And it just takes so long, dude. But if you're not safe like this and you don't check everything, you will regret it. And it will take you like 2 times. So it might feel real nice to just skim through it. But you will fix that shit later. If okay, so yes, that is the only place it's used. I'm trying to be diligent. I think I did good. I didn't like completely review, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like do a thorough review of this entire function. But like, I'm pretty confident in the way that I just did this, to where like, I feel like this will work. Feelings, right? I just feel like this will work. You know, I did enough of a review. I'm pretty good looking at code now. I think this is gonna be alright. So we're gonna move on. And this is gonna return draw discard file. Okay. You did not, unfortunately, you did not meet any conditions to avoid picking up for without a Canasta legally got bar discard, which could leave you in your hand. You are there for the rest of the discard pile. Okay. That's the hardest thing about coding this, is the logic associated with the like progression of the game. It's, man, melt your brain, bro. It's hard. So hard. So we're going back to actually progress. E R comes after P L. Let's go back to our for loops, and we're in progression, so we gotta go to the P's. Frogger. Go about halfway. That got us kind of close. We're at like. Alright, so moving forward from Eldon. Did I not put for space in the space after? See, the space after actually cuts out a lot of the. cut out a lot actually. It's pretty good so far. Haven't seen anything yet that be many for loops in this file, dude. Shit. It's a lot of for loops, my. So these are all good, all good, optimized. These are not instances of the thing that I'm looking for. Obviously, because if they were, I'd stop. Still going. Routing current player melds. Initial melded cards. Okay. Yep, all this. Okay, this is it. This is not even it. I'm still. Okay. Actually stressing me out looking at all this. It's actually stressing me out looking at all my code that I have, and I'm like, God, that's so much code. Yeah, so this is another instance. We don't have to do np1 and p2 as a tuple. We can just do np1 p2. All right, moving forward. There we go. There's another instance for total score np1. Total score. We don't have to do it like that. We can just use the packing method. And our stream hasn't cut out. It's not reset. So we need to be done here. In this case, yeah, we don't have to do that. Okay. No. What's going on here? Okay, so we're in a new file, server file. We finished that file. Thank you. So it's gonna be fast now. We're basically done. And I didn't do caps lock. All those notes, that's just notes. Hundreds of lines of notes, guys. Don't even worry about that. Don't even worry about it. Wait. I mean, was this worth it? I don't know, dude. I just like to be perfectionist. I like my code to be... I think that's a good quality to have as a coder. See, you don't want to spend too much time on things, but ASD. Shit. Setup. Okay, I think we're done. No, maybe not. Hold on. New features, old features. Yeah, we're not worried about that. This file. These are like junk files. These two. Scroll through all this. Scroll through all this madness. Look at all this madness, dude. Get it away from me. Nobody cares. Okay, text copy. Okay, so now we're in test copy. Now we're in testing test. Yeah, we're done. Just want to make sure I'm not skipping anything. Yeah, we're not worried about test files. I don't think there's anything after T, just testing and then TUVWX. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be anything. Yeah, this is now text files. So devlog. Alright, so we finished that. Thank God, that took a while, dude. What? I don't know, dude. That was a lot of sifting just to fix, like, I don't know, maybe, you know. But we did find a couple bugs, so like whatever. We did fix some bugs. Okay, so fixing instances for loops that uses and so we'll put, when did we come back? 255. So 255 to 348. No way it took that long. There's no way it did that for them. Believe it. I don't believe it. Finished fixing instances of for loops used to be instead of backing mechanism and other instances related to this. And then we'll put also found and fixed some miscellaneous bugs away. So now we're at our next time slot, which is 349 to XX ... which is, so now we're going to do the next our pressing issues list, which is master deck dot ranks to ranks dict. Since it is indeed a dict, this is not a pressing issue. This is not a pressing issue, so it's gonna get moved to a pressing issues. That okay. So back to this for loop non-iterable packing format rule. That's what we just did. Since I now know that when iterating using for, I don't have to have values. I don't have to have values being iterated through in iterable format. Yeah, we're done with that. That's what we just did. So now we want to do caution comment review. No, so literally as the last thing. Okay, well, see, this one we did the first time, but we're gonna put this at the very end. This needs to be capitalized because I'm OCD. That's how we do that. Okay, so text object dict check. This is check the game text object dict or some closely related name to determine if dict vowels of mutable objects are current in the context in which they are accessed. Read that one more time. Check the game text object dict or some closely related name to determine if dict vowels, which are immutable objects, are current in the context in which they are accessed. Okay, that's valid. That's very important. I've had issues with that in the past where I was confused about how it's a learning process, right? So everything with this project is like learn as you go. I didn't enter into this project as a Python. Definitely not a beginner anymore. 3.5 years, that would really be embarrassing. But anyway, it's 59 minutes and 22 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and take my little 5-minute break that I take. So what's that little page I go to? See, it's been so long since I did this. Office, yeah, office break. So it's get some water because I'm thirsty. Mega bad. What did I just... Did somebody bomb that track? Like, anyway, someone did. I'll be back.
Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. 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 Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye, my lover. 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 Goodbye, my friend.
Okay, I'm back. That was a 7 minutes. 7 minute break. That's not bad. I feel like the little 5 to 10 minutes per hour is pretty good. I go take a little walk outside, get some sun on my skin, drink some water, use the bathroom if I have to, eat a little tiny snack. Gets my heart going again, my blood pumping. All right, so let's go a little further. I'm gonna go at least like 15 more minutes, and then I'll probably call it quits. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this one. Text object dict check game text object dict for some close village dict values. Yeah. So let's go ahead and Control Shift F on this, and looks like we placeholder to avoid non-type error access through self.textObjectDict and assign through self.input text calculated property every time it is altered, except for getRect. Okay, so here's so text object is assigned here, and we verified, at least for these first like 10 or so entries, that it is never changed after the initial assignment. Okay, fair enough. Well, okay, wait, I'm sorry. This is not true. Is changed to conform to player name changes. So it is changed. But since this is assigned inside of draw window main, that means every time the screen gets redrawn, it's going to reassign this dictionary. So that's fine. That's what we want to happen. I think. I mean, that's safe. If we're reassigning these dict vals frequently, then we don't have anything to worry about. Okay? Now you could maybe say this is overkill, but I don't care. I'm not worried about it. So then text object keys list. Alright. For object and text object dict keys list 0 to 12. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's safe. That was easy. Ooh, I'm loving this. These easy tasks, bro. Okay, visual modification locks. Ah, now this is a big one. Damn. Okay, this is a big one. Okay, visual modification locks. Definitely need to add server-side locks for whenever modifications are being made that change the visual display data. For instance, in adders such as progression text, etc., there are many lines of code that need to be executed before the associated visual display is 100% correct. Such as progression text, etc. Executed before the associated visual display is 100% correct. Therefore, we need to lock those sections against draw window main or any visual draws so that all visual data mods are made before the screen is drawn again. And this is true. So this is quite important, actually. Um, very important, definitely causing intermittent visual bugs. Okay. Now this is a task right here. This is actually a task. This is not a little 5-minute thing. This is like a couple hours. So I'm just thinking here, like, what's the best way to go about this? I want to try to think real simple. Like, there might just be a really simple way to do this where, like, so wait a second. Okay, so on the client side, because server side we don't have to worry about this. This is strictly a client side issue. We're concerned that we will be updating certain values that affect the visual display, but then concurrently calling draw window main before that data change is finished. But that's not true because client side is single threaded. There's only one thread on client side. So this would be a problem if we did draw window main on the server side, because then we might, would have data changes happening concurrent with another thread calling draw window main, but that's not the case. Client side doesn't work like that. Client side is single threaded. It goes through a fixed loop. There is no second thread, so there is no concurrency. There's only that one thread working. So it does data change, draw window main, data change, draw window main. It's a cycle. There's no deviation. Yeah, there is no other thread. This is not even a problem. Just think about this for just a second, just to make sure I'm not overlooking anything. Yeah, so client side receives data, parses the data, applies the data, and then calls draw window main, and then draws the window, see if the user changed any data, sends out that data, and then waits to receive data. If there's new data, receives it, parses it, applies it, and does it all again. Draw window main again. And there's not concurrency. It's separate event, it's linear. So much for those 2 hours. That's not even an issue. Yeah, dude, that's not an issue. It would be if it was server side. No way, huh? That was awesome. Okay, so clients. Oh, this should be CS for client side to SS server side. So client side to server side data not sent to other client. Client side to server side data not sent to other client. Realize data changes made client side that are sent to the server are never actually transmitted to the other client. Yeah. So let's say we make a modification on the client side wherein we are, I don't know, anything really. So let's say we make a data change on the client side on client 2. That change gets transmitted to the server. That change gets applied server side, but that change does not then get sent to client 1 and change on client 1 side, and that is a problem. At the very least, it's not like, it's not perfect, meaning even like, okay, so if the data is unnecessary for the other client to actually have, then we can say, well, we don't need to send that data, right? Like if it's not needed, we don't need to send it. But that's the question. Would it be needed? And I feel like, you know, let's just say there's 30 different attributes that are sent, or data points that are sent from the client side over to the server side. I would like to think at least one of them would be necessary for the client, the other client to have access to, like to have knowledge of. But I don't know, honestly, like for sure. I don't have a list of all attributes that are sent from the client side. I have a I'm just thinking here, like this is a lot to have to think about, because I don't want to waste a bunch of time. Like in, for instance, one thing that I could do would be to go through and figure out every single attribute or data point that gets sent from the client side. turn that into a list, and then go through the list to see if those attributes are necessary to be received by the other client. That would take a while. That would be pretty difficult. Well, I don't know. Wouldn't it be that hard? Because I would just be going through all the different files except progression, because progression is a server side only file, and I would be looking at the transferred adders, which I do have a list for each of those for each file. So I could look at the transferred adders list for each file, and then go through the file and find places where we modify that adder in a way that would cause it to be transmitted over the server. And then once we determine that, we could then basically make that list of client side sent data, sent adders, whatever you would call it. And then we could go through that list and determine if we need to actually send that stuff. Because, like, for instance, lots of the game attributes don't need to be sent to the other client, because like they don't use them. They only care about their game data. They don't care about the other guy's progression text and, like, you know, stuff like that. So I know that we already know which game adders are like needed and not needed, because we've dealt with a similar issue for, like, from server side to client side. We don't send certain game attributes to the client side in terms of the other client, because they don't need that data. So we like, a subset of this problem has already been solved and is already, like, written out in the project, so it's like done already. So realistically, this wouldn't really be such a big endeavor as maybe I was thinking it would be, because it excludes the progression file, and it would also exclude that subset of game attributes. And honestly, that's the bulk of the project. Like, excluding those two sections, there's not a huge amount of code left. There is some, obviously, but it's not nearly as daunting as if I had to go through all that. So considering that brainstorm, here's the other option. The other option would be just send all the data always. We just always send all the data always, which means we would just make it to where whenever the client made any change, when it sent it to the server, it would basically, like a mirror, it would just like hit the server mirror, and then it would immediately get transferred from the server. So it would just like go from one side, hit that server. The server would transmit it back to client 2 client side, so that client 2 now has knowledge in its data, in its, you know, files, the changes that were made. So Now, there's a couple of issues that are associated with that system. If I were to add the like, okay, let me think. Everything that gets sent has a receive verification system. So like, which is fine. I was thinking, I'm like, actually, that would work. Bugs with that. It would just be considered as coming from the server. Got mirrored, like it's a mirror transmission. It doesn't necessarily mean there add another like of receive their data because like whenever we send from the server side or from the client side rather to the server side, we have receive verification in place, which sends back a packet to the client that sent the data to the server to validate to that client that hey, we received this thing that you sent us, so you don't have to worry about like us not having it. We have it now, so you can like you don't have to store it anymore. We already have it applied. But if we're gonna be mirroring data like that, it's gonna be double layered. You have to send it from the client to the server. That's gonna receive verification, and then we're gonna send it from the server to the other client. Um, like it's not that complicated, really. It's really not. It's just it's just a little bit more work. So we could make it to where we rolled with that system. It's too complex to implement. That's not that bad. At least thinking about it, things are in practice with coding. But I think having a grasp of the systems enough to visualize it fairly confident. Anyway, so the let's say we did that. Let's say transmit everything from here. That would happen would like obviously we would have to add the data to a change attribute list. Basically that gets forwarded, like forwarding an email. So like we would basically just add it to the associated list, like we would just receive it and then we would apply the data and then we would go ahead and subsequently append all that data to, let's say if we sent from client 1 to client 1, we would receive it, parse it, and then on server side we would then append all that data to the C1 to C2 change attribute list, and then that would get transmitted client 2. There is a little bit of special like logic that would have to be implemented because currently we always send the data to both of the clients. Since we're mirroring it and we already have like just received it from one of the clients, we're obviously not going to send it back to both clients because then that would send it back to the guy who sent it, and that's like stupid. It's not a mirror back to itself. It's a mirror at an angle from the from client 2 to client 1. So that wouldn't be super hard. But just went ahead with that. Let's say, what if we found out that like actually none of that data is necessary? Well, the time that it took to implement that system would probably be greater than the time it took. It would be greater than the time if any data that we would send needs to be sent. I think after all that brainstorm, which was a lot, I know, but I think now I can be fairly certain that it would be a better idea, which is what the note I put right here, is the primary concern should be whether or not these changes are needed by the other client. If not needed, no need to implement the system, no need to review the necessity of this, if not needed. So, yeah. And I'll just put 8, 22, 24. After brainstorm determined it would be quicker to figure out if we actually need to transfer than it would be to implement the transfer system. And since it might be unnecessary, we need to check. We need to check that. Alright, so we'll just put therefore we will go through each file's transferred adders minus GamePy non-transferred adders minus ProgPy SS only to determine which adders would need to be transferred. So this would finalize in a list of all needed adders from other clients, client side. I think that's how that's close enough. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go through each file. I really don't feel like doing this, honestly. Yeah, I think I kind of like wanted. I already did do like an hour earlier, so I'm kind of like done for the day. Trying to think of something else I could do that's a little easier. I could crank up the script. See about that. See if anything works. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and see if we can get the scripts cranked up. So we're gonna 3 terminals. CD to Canasta run Pi server. And then we're gonna go, when I know we're gonna hit some crashes off the bat. So here we're gonna CD main, then we're gonna do client. So we're gonna be running the client script. We're definitely gonna crash because I know there's a few places where I have code which is bad syntax, and it's gonna crash because of that. So, okay, well, first off, nothing happens. Okay, let's kill the scripts. Gotta love when that's not good. It's not letting me kill the scripts. Can't you just kill the task? Is there not a way to kill the task? Let me ask ChatGPT this. Python VS Code. How do you kill a script from terminal without killing the terminal if the script is locked? If you have Python script running in a terminal and you need to stop without closing the terminal, you can do using various methods depending on the situation. Keyboard interrupt, which is what I'm trying to do, is Control C. This sends a SIGINT interrupt signal to the running script, which is typically handled by terminating the script gracefully. If the script responds to interrupts, it should stop executing and return control to the terminal. Method 2, use the kill command. Find the process ID, PID. First, find the PID of the running script. You can use the PS command to list running processes. Okay. This command will list all running Python processes along with their PIDs. Locate the PID of your script. This is in Bash, but I'm running this from VS Code terminal, and it's literally like I can't do anything. I can't type anything. It's trapped in a while loop. It won't let me do that. Use the kill command to send termination to the process. Replace PID with the actual process ID. So I don't think this is gonna work. If I bring up CMD and then type in PS, PS is not. You can force it by using the -9 option. Kill -9 PID. Kill -9 should be left to force stop the process without allowing it to clean up. Using pkill or kill, alternate by name. You know the script's name in Python, you can still use pkill. Or using task manager. Okay, so I was about to say, can I just use task manager? Control shift escape task manager, find the process, and then handling script with infinite loops. If your script is check for process lag, ensure the process is not a state where it is ignoring interrupt signals. This is rare. Use strace Linux. We don't have Linux, so thank you, Shibity. Now let's I don't know, is using this, like, I don't even know if this is faster than just like killing the scripts and then details. There we go. Okay, been a while since I messed with this, and we're just gonna like go to P for Python. This is just HIMP Python. So here we go. So these are our two. So we just end task, end task, end task. Okay, that actually works. Okay, cool. So now I know how to do that. Let's try and just do one at a time. Although that is not like the right way. Okay, so server is caught in an infinite loop somewhere. It is not like at the very beginning stages of the game. It is not allowing me to do anything. So let's go to server, and let's go to the top, and let's see what could be causing this. Let's look for any asterisks first of all. There's 1,200 of these bad boys. Let's do space. 172, so that's a little easier. Okay. All this is commented out so far, so that shouldn't be the issue. Okay. Alright. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna change the logging because currently it's set to it's gonna be set to where's the log switch? Log switch print log switch equals none. Okay. Let's find print log switch and we'll equals where we assign it. Here we go. Oh wait, it is set to print. Set to print. Custom logger on off switch is on. Set to false to not print logs. Let's just try setting it to false and have it as print, and then let's kill this process and try it again, and then try to kill it again. Okay, so it's still not printing, so we're going to change this back to true, and this is set to print, which is good, so it should actively be printing them as they happen, not waiting until the end of the file to print them all at once, which is just a performance thing. So that's configured correctly. So now we're debugging. Let's go to server again. Let's look at the top. Let's see. Let's just go through here. Not in it. Let's go to the first functions. Alright, so let's find a server, listen. Problem with the server for up to 10. Let's just change this to 2 to see if that might have something to do with it. I don't think that's the problem. Try again to run the client. And it won't let us kill the it won't let us kill anything. It's literally like locked. Something's up. Something's up. This, we changed that from 2 to 10. That shouldn't be an issue. So let's go to the next step. Start accepting clients. This is not the proper result. If you want to read all the notes, you read all out of here. There we go. Accept. Okay. So this is threaded client. Let's go down further. Minimize these by function. Scroll through basically the entire file at once. This limit. Just gonna collapse. There we go. Now we can can scroll through the entire file much easier. Okay, so if name is equal to main, so this first thing isn't even printing, which is weird, huh? Very first line isn't printing. Being an exception. Let's just try this. Let's just try and do print. So let's run. So we do get the hello from Pygame community. So it must be something with the like. It's not getting to this spot yet. Let's just make sure it's not something to do with the try. So we're gonna do print true. So when we call this script, really what it does is it does all these imports first. Once it's done with these imports, on this server, it's going to create this class, and it goes to the if name is equal to main, which means if we this script directly, we are, the script should start executing, which uses all these functions up here within the client, the server class. Not getting this initial true. That's literally the first thing that's going to happen. Then the importing and defining the functions. But defining the class is not going to cause any, like, that wouldn't cause a lock. File lock. An infinite loop, we'd call it. So we wouldn't expect the problem to lie there. It would either be somewhere after this. If it's before this, then it would be somewhere in the imports. Like, it would be locking up somewhere in this section, because this is all like, these are packages that are made by other people, and I know that they work, and they're not gonna like cause, you know, it's not gonna cause me to freeze up like that. So if it's anything, it's the stuff that I'm importing from my project, which is all this stuff right here, all these lines. So I guess what we could do is go line by line through here. Go line by line, disabling each one to see if they are culprit for locking file in constant loop or something. And so let's just try this again. So we have this if name is equal to main, we do print true. So we run it. Okay, obviously that's got to be commented out. That's gonna be what stops us. All right, so let's make sure it's a caution comment 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, you can go down here and let's try that again. Okay, so we do get the hello from the community, which is in the game. So that's getting imported first. But something's gone wrong. Let's see. Okay, so it's gonna be not here. It's gonna be in the locked loop frozen file issue not caused within this section. It must be happening before this, during imports or something. True. So now let's go back to the tippity top, and I'll just disable each one. And I don't know if this is gonna work, honestly, because like we have to have some of this stuff for it to do anything at all. So that didn't do it. So it's not that. Let's do master deck. Okay, that didn't do it. Let me just make sure. It should print. Let's just, I'm gonna put this back in. True. I just want it to print that true. Regardless. If name is equal to main. And you know what? How about before name is equal to main, we'll print a true as well, just to see what kind of stuff's going on here. So let's kill this script. Try it again. Okay, so we're not getting either of these printouts. Now let's kill that script. Right. So not printing, and then we'll put this one is also not printing. So now let's disable player and try it again. It didn't work. So let's go to the next one. Oh, so we had both of them disabled. So let's just do master deck again because that was kind of sloppy. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Now let's do game, see if that's the culprit. But how is it? Thinking, how is it running this line held from the fight game? Yeah, that must happen in this file as well. We must initiate it. So to be clear, we what the fuck is pet? What is this? I'm gonna do this again from the top. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. We're gonna run the server and we're gonna try to kill it. Doesn't let me kill it. Okay. In that task. Re-enable that one. Disable master deck again. Make sure it's saved. Run the script. Try to kill the script. Doesn't work. Kill the script. Go back here. Re-enable master deck. Disable game. Make sure it's saved. Run the script. No printout. Try to kill the script. End the task. Okay. Re-enable this. Client has to be important since you need this was an issue before. Okay. So now disable. Make sure it's saved. Try to kill the script. Doesn't. No printout. Strange. Okay. Try progression. Save. Run the script. No printout. Try to kill it. Won't let me kill it. Just can't kill the beast. Okay. Let's go back to client. Save. Run. Try to kill it. Nothing. No printout. Okay. Setup. Let's disable setup. Save it. Make sure it's saved. It's auto save, but let's just control S. Pie game 24. So it's still running the pie game thing. Kill. Can't kill. And go back here. Enable setup. Disable network. Save it. Run. Kill it. No print. Ask. Network. Custom logger. Save. Make sure it's saved. Run the server. Still not working. It's because I haven't updated Python. I don't know. I shouldn't have to update Python. What if it's Pygame? Is Pygame like out of date or something? I don't know. I'm trying to. confused here. This might be going first. I don't want to assume anything. Okay, so we saved, disabled, change attribute list. We run it, and print out. I think I tried to kill it. Make sure it's saved. Yep, won't let me kill it. That's. Let me go change attribute list, disable that, run the script for. Let me kill the script. Didn't print out anything. Okay. Re-enable and let me just try one. Nothing. Okay. Alright. So let me disable all of them. Every single one. Try it. Okay. Now, got something. So we made some progress. So now when I disable, so we know that it's something to do with the imports. Because when I disable all of the imports from my project, then get the true, if name is equal and try, true, print out. So stop, but I know where I'm picking up. And I'll put today, 8/22/24, 50, stopped here. Alright, and I'm going to put a note here. Script when run from terminal in or something isn't out anything sections, disabling all of these imports. The issue somewhat, or the problem has to do with imports. Already disabled import one. That didn't fix the issue. Therefore is string of imports that is problem. Need to determine which set of imports is causing this. Alright, so now we're going to go to devlog, or rather things to do. I'm going to put current issue and we'll put game test. Game test surpi freeze lock and the date 9/22 8/22 surpi is while loop locked or frozen in some other manner at earliest stages. Doesn't print anything. Disabling, I'll just put C at line number 10, whatever it is, for notes on this issue. Yeah, so now we're going to go to devlog and we'll just add this in as our current issue. So 349 to 452. We'll put began testing server and client scripts to see if we can enter into earliest stages of game. And then we'll put game tester Zoc surpi my script is frozen in while loop or something at earliest stage of game. Began debugging this issue. C by line number 10 notes. And then we stop here, so it's 453, so we're going to put 453 to 455, and we're going to stage commit and push our changes to the remote repo and create a new local backup of the entire project. We're going to go right here. Let's figure out our time. So we started at 10:35, we took a break at 11:38, so we're going to put that. Then we're going to put and 2:55 to, what time is it now? 4:55, so it's exactly 2 hours. Holy shit. So that's 1 hour, so we'll just call it 11:35 to, so that's 1 hour and then 2 hours, so that's 3 hours. So we'll just put equals 3 hours. Get rid of that. Now we're going to copy this because that's going to be our commit message. Now we're going to do into our terminal. We're going to see we're in the wrong project directory. We need to cd slash dot dot. Now we're in the root of the project, the root directory of the project, which is where we need to be to properly add all the files. Then we're going to do git add, or rather git branch, to make sure we're on the right branch. We're on secondary, which is correct. Now we're going to do git add dot to add everything. These LF warnings are nothing. We don't have to worry about that. Now we can do just did git add. Yeah, so we're going to do git commit -m double quotes, paste in our devlog. The commit was made, 17 files changed, 130 deletions. Now we're going to do git push secondary to the Canasta repository at the secondary branch. I'm just going to do that. It's going to start uploading it to the remote repo. Looks like we did that. We pushed. What's this? We're going to get rid of this. And in the flesh, we're going to go to text, which is not the right one. We're going to go Canasta. That opened up my disk drive. So let's enter into Canasta. We're going to copy this because that's the current. We're going to go into the backup. We're going to delete the old version. Get here, hit OK. Now we're going to Control V to paste in the new and improved. Go into it. We're going to make sure it's correct, of course. So we're going to go to text. We're going to go to devlog. We're going to go to the end of the file. Check that date, 8/22. That is the date of today's date. So we can back up. We know that this is valid. We know that the we copied in or pasted in the right version. We changed the title to reflect today's date, which is the date of the last time we backed it up, and we're done, dude. So I'm gonna call it a day. We'll pick up tomorrow, maybe, unless something comes up, and have a good one. Take it easy.